Hello! Today's video is called How the Heck Do I Use My Foam Roller? Many of you have one of these funny spherical devices at home, and maybe it's a coat rack, maybe you play and hit baseballs with it. A lot of you, if you're patients of mine, you've learned how to use this in some capacity. This video, we're going to do some exercises. On a follow-up video, I'm going to show you how to roll out parts of your body on this foam roller so you can get a little pain relief for those of you stuck at home. And hopefully you'll grow to appreciate this wonderful invention called the foam roller. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do on the foam roller is lie on it. So place it down on the floor. And the best way to get on the foam roller is to sit with your butt at one end. Notice my butt's almost coming off of it because you want your head to be on the roller. So if you have a longer torso or you're taller, it's better to have part of your tushy hanging off of it so that your head can remain on the roller. The other thing is that you want to feel like this doesn't hurt your back when you're on it. If it causes some sharp pain, then what you want to do is take a blanket and place a blanket over the roller, because that will soften the surface and it won't make it as painful to be on. So if you've seen any of my other videos on low back basics, you'll hear me talk about neutral pelvis, neutral spine. On the roller, I like to work a little bit more with what's called an imprinted spine. The reason is because when we start doing some core exercises in a moment here, it's really easy to let your back arch like this, and then that's going to take you right into your hip flexors and you won't be using the transverse abdominis, which is really what we're chasing after. So while I'm chatting here, I want all of you to take your arms into a goalpost position and then open wide. And this is going to help stretch out your chest or your pectoral muscles. And just hang out here. And then some of you might need to move your arms up or down to find a better sweet spot in that pectoral region. Just hang out there. And then notice if you already want to arch your back here. If you do, I want you to tighten your belly and think of your ribs coming together and then coming through to the back side and anchoring down into the foam roller. So this is going to flatten your back out a little bit, but what you'll feel is that you're using your belly to flatten your back out. Now, if that causes pain because you have a really bad disc herniation, chances are you're not doing this video anyways. I would recommend you go back to my low back basics video and stay there for a while until your back pain has calmed down. You can also try my belly down back bend sequence. That can also be helpful if you've got a disc herniation. All right, so now everybody take your hands down by your side. Keep your belly in and try to flatten your back almost flat. So just think there's a little bit of space in your low back that's arching. And then what I want everyone to do is take your right leg up and float it into tabletop. And hold here. Some of you might find, oh wow, it's hard to keep my balance here. And I'm like, yeah, that's the point. And take the right leg down and then take the left leg up. So this is called marching. Keep your belly tight. And float the left leg down. Bring the right leg up. Exhale down. Inhale, left side comes up. And I'm going to progress all of these movements. If you find that I'm showing you something that feels too difficult, you can always go back to something we've done before. Take your right leg up. And right leg down, left leg comes up. Okay, so now we're going to progress this into building a table. So the right leg comes up, hold it there, slowly float the left leg up. So I don't want you to push from your foot. I want you to lift from your tummy to lift that leg up. Good, take your right leg down. Left leg comes down. Left leg floats up. Right leg floats up. Left leg floats down. Right leg floats down. Keep going, right leg up. Then your left. Right leg comes down. Then your left. Check in that you're not arching your low back. Left leg comes up. Right leg comes up. Left leg comes down. Right leg comes down. Great. Now we move on to the dead bug. If you notice, this is pretty close to the low back basic sequence. We've just changed our surface onto a foam roller, which has made the level of difficulty harder. I would still call this beginner level. As we get into intermediate material, we'll be doing more Pilates-based stuff on the roller. So take your hand, right hand and left knee comes up, and they're going to press against each other. So remember, we're squashing something, whether it's a blueberry or an ant, something you're squashing on your leg between your hand, and switch sides. We're holding for a moment. And you'll notice that it's more difficult to hold your balance here. Why? Because you have less stuff stabilizing you on the floor. Good, and switch. And last round on each side, right hand, left knee, or I should say left thigh. And switch, left hand, right knee. Then we're going to switch to the other dead bug. Keep the back flat on the roller, lift your left knee up, take your right arm up overhead. Take both arm and legs down. Right leg, left arm. What's great about this one is it's really going to open up your chest. You'll feel a stretch into the lats. It'll help mobilize a little bit of your thoracic spine while you're also getting a little bit of core work. So we're multitasking now. The foam roller gives you an unstable base of support, so it automatically makes your belly and your core have to work much harder. Good, one more on each side. So, right arm, left knee up. Take them down. Left arm, right knee. Take it down. Okay, so new exercise, toe taps. Take your belly, keep it tight, keep your pelvic floor engaged, keep your back slightly flat on the roller, take your right leg up and then your left. Keep your back flat on the roller. It is critical with this exercise that you move slowly. I actually like to take my hands out a little bit wider here and I come up on my fingertips. Or you can keep your hands down where you were before. Either one is fine. Now we're going to slowly take that right leg down. Keep pace with me. Then bring it back up. The slower you go, the harder this will be. The more flat your back is on the roller, the more you'll work from your belly versus working from your hip flexors. Ready? Right side down, then bring it up. Left side down, then bring it up. For those of you who have watched this video a few times and want a more challenging version of this exercise, when we go to the left, we're going to lift our head and our chest up a little bit. So, we're starting to step into intermediate material. Hold there, take your right leg down, bring it back up. Left leg down, then bring it back up. If you cannot hold your spine position against the roller here,
then you're gonna take your head and chest back down. You'll stay there. For those of you who can stay here, great. Right side down and back up. Left side down and up. Keep going. And left. Good, one more. Right side. And left. Good. Take your head down if you had it up, and take your feet down. Take a break. Then we're gonna move into 2 variations of this series of 5 on the roller. Again, this is kind of treading into intermediate material. If this feels too hard, you can come off the roller and try it on the floor, or you can go back to a version we did before. Maybe it's marching or building the tabletop, breaking it down. Whatever one you want to stick with is fine. For those of you who want to go into a little bit more difficult territory with me, take your legs up and tabletop, lift your head, lift your chest. Take your right knee in, straighten your left leg out. Now, notice I'm not taking my leg really low here. You can if you're very strong, but I'm assuming some of you are just starting intermediate material, so you'll take your leg higher. Then you're gonna switch your arm and your leg. And switch. So if you go lower, this is harder. But if that back is arching, you need to lift your leg higher up, okay? So it's about where you have control, not about where your ego wants to be. Plus, you're doing this alone in your room anyways. You've got nobody to impress but yourself, okay? So, switch. And switch. Do you have to wear tennis shoes when you do this exercise? No, it's actually better to do without tennis shoes. If anything, it adds more weight, makes it a little harder. And we're doing one more on each side. Left leg comes in, right leg comes out. Tabletop, head and chest come down. Take your feet down, take a break. All right. So that was a variation of single leg stretch. Now we're gonna do double leg stretch variation. This is not the traditional mat version. Take the legs up and tabletop, lift your head, lift your chest. Then you're gonna reach both legs out and then pull them back in. If that's hard, you take them higher and then take them back in. If it's too hard to get your legs straight, just come out a little bit and then take them back in. That's fine, even if it's just that little tiny little bit of motion. For those of you who are stronger, take your legs all the way out, pull it back in, and out. And 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, last one, 8, tabletop, lower your head, take your feet down, and break time. Woohoo! Now we're going to do some bridging on the foam roller. So your feet will be hip distance apart. You'll put some tone in your belly and your pelvic floor. If it hurts to lift off far, then don't. And work on what we covered in low back basics. So if you tuck under a little bit, maybe that's all you need to do here. And that gives you a little bit of a fascial pull on your low back and feels nice. For others, see if you can lift up a little bit higher so that you feel the foam roller mobilizing your mid-back. So now we're going into mobility work. So yes, it's a strengthening exercise sort of for your glutes. It's an easy one because we're not lifting very far and we're not using any weight or resistance. And then coming down. Okay, keep going. Lift up. And come down. Your hands can be down by your side. We're going to do 3 more like this and we're going to add on. And down. 2 more. Lift up. and down. Good, one more, lift up. And then down. Now we're gonna add our arms to that. So you're gonna lift up into your bridge, hold, lift your arms up overhead. Take your arms back down, lower your hips. 4 more like that. Lift your hips, hold, lift your arms up overhead. Pause. Take your arms down, take your hips down. 3 more, up, and arms overhead. Take your arms down, lower your hips. Last 2, lift up, take your arms up overhead. Take your arms down, lower your hips down. Last one, lift up, take your arms up overhead. Take your arms down, take your hips down. Release. Okay, come off your rollers, and we're gonna reposition the rollers. The rollers are gonna be right across your mid-back. Take your hands behind your head. Take your elbows wide, lift up into a bridge. Then you're gonna gently roll up and down your mid-back here. Please keep the roller on your rib cage area, or what we call the thoracic spine. Don't roll all the way down to your low back, and don't roll all the way up into your neck. That's not gonna feel good. So we want to stay on the mid-back. Now pause, take your hips down, arch back. Keep your elbows wide. Lift your hips. Move down a little bit, rest your hips down, arch back. Lift your head and chest, bend your knees, lift your hips, roll down a little bit more, arch back. Lift your head and chest, lift your hips, come back to the top, arch back. Lift your head, lift your hips, roll down a little bit, set your hips down, arch back. Lift your head and chest, bend your knees, lift your hips, roll down a little bit, place your hips down, arch back. Good. Take a break. Now place the roller down by your feet. Lie on your back. Reach down with your arms. Pull your shoulders back. Put some tone in your belly and pelvic floor. Keep your feet hip distance apart. Lift your hips up. Pull the roller in 1 inch. Take the roller back. Drop your hips down. Some of you might hate me a lot right now because I didn't warn you that this is hamstring work. Lift up. Pull in, press away, lower down. I'm sorry, but you will thank me later, I swear. Lift up, pull in, press away, lower down. Again, 4. And down, 5. And down, 6. And down, 2 more. Lift up, pull in, roll away, and down. Last one, lift up, pull in, press away, and down. Woohoo! You survived the worst part. Come onto your hands and your knees. Place your hands on the roller. Step your right leg back, step your left leg back. Come into plank. We hold here for a few breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Last one. Inhale and exhale. Take a break. Now we're going to add a little spice here. We're going to pull our knee up towards our chest. So from plank, take your feet together, pull your right knee in, hover. Take your right leg back. Left knee comes in, hover. Switch. Right side, hover. Left side, hover. Right side. Left side. One more. Right side and left side. Good. Come on down. Last one. Take the roller ahead of you. You're going to take your thumb up. The pinky side of your hand is going to place down on the roller. You'll take your heels away from each other. Your pubic bone will press down, belly in. Press down and pull the roller back towards you. Pilates, they call this Swan. Exhale, lower down. This should look and feel a lot like a belly down back bend that we did before called upward facing dog. It's actually a little less vigorous than upward facing dog. Exhale, come on up. If you can go higher, great. If you can't, don't worry about it. Maybe some of you, you're only lifting to there and pulling back, that's fine. But for those of you who have a lot of flexibility, please keep tone in your belly and pelvic floor and see how much of that you can keep while you come into the bigger back bend. Lower down. 2 more. And release. Good, last one. And release. So hopefully now you know that there are actually exercises you can do with this thing being a foam roller. Watch out for some more videos. I'm gonna do one on releasing your hips and your lower body, your legs with the foam roller, so you know how to use this as a recovery tool. You might be a little surprised with the technique for some of you. It's not just simply rolling out. There's other ways to use this device. But if you have any questions or comments or requests on other classes you'd like to see, please leave them in the comment section. Please also share this video, subscribe, get your friends to subscribe. The more viewers we have and the more participation we have, the more fun this becomes for all of us. But I thank you for your participation and I wish you all good health. Bye.